Some are swallowed by the dark. Others nest in the corners of your vision, waiting for your eyes to drift. Greetings, my night ravens. I am Lady Lenore, your guide through the shadows. Tonight's stories are born from truth, but twisted through fiction's glass. Each tale is inspired by real places and the echoes they leave behind. But first, a word of caution. Tonight's episode references themes of suicide. Though this story is imagined, the pain it mirrors is very real. If you or someone you know is struggling, please don't wait. Visit 988lifeline.org, call or text 988 to speak with someone who will listen. You are not alone in the dark. Now, my dear Raven, you are there. You didn't come to the Washington Avenue Bridge for the view. You came to walk, to think and not to think. The cold helps. You like how it bites. It keeps your thoughts from wandering too far. You tell yourself you're not here to chase anything. Not answers, not ghosts. You just needed space. Somewhere public but quiet. High but not too high. Familiar but not personal. A place where nobody expects you to explain how you're doing. You've walked this bridge before. Dozens of times, probably. But tonight, it feels different. Too still. Like the city's holding its breath. And that's when you see her. She's standing at the far end of the span, barely a silhouette against the dimming skyline. A coat that looks borrowed from another decade. Large buttons, stiff hem, sleeves too long. A scarf coils around her neck. Red, vivid enough to pull focus even in this light. Almost intentional, like it wanted to be seen. She raises one hand and waves like she knows you. Like you're expected, maybe even late. You hesitate and wave back. She smiles, and then she steps backward, calm as anything, over the edge and out of sight. She jumped into the void. Panic flares hot in your chest before your mind can catch up. You run, legs lurching forward, lungs clawing for air. Each footfall lands too loud, like the bridge is amplifying only your panic, muting everything else. You reach the railing and lean out hard, but there's no splash, no ripple. No sign of impact. The water below remains still, unnaturally still. A black pane of glass. Not even the wind disturbs it. You scan the banks. Nothing. Nobody. A couple glances your way but continues walking. There's no panic, no outward reaction from either of them. Only the visible cloud of your breath in the air, and the frantic clawing of your heart in your throat. Your hand trembles as you pull out your phone and call emergency services, struggling to sound rational. Later, at the station, the officer who took your statement plays the bridge footage, fingers still hovering near the keyboard where he's been logging the report. You watch yourself step into the frame, wave at empty air, and when he rewinds it twice, there's still nothing. Just you, alone on the edge, murmuring and smiling faintly. You insist something is wrong, but the officer states the camera doesn't lie. That should have been enough to end it, but it lingers. The image, the silence, the feeling that something watched you watching it. You'd gone to the bridge that night just to clear your head, get some air, walk off the restless pressure that had been knotting in your ribs all week. You weren't looking for anything, you just needed quiet, distance, maybe even the kind of height that makes everything else feel smaller. But after the video, after seeing yourself alone, you haven't been able to shake the sense that something's missing. Not from the footage, from you. Sleep hasn't come easily for days. You've been restless, pacing, checking your phone, rereading the emergency transcript like it might fill in the gaps the footage erased. But tonight, it feels like a walk might help. Get your body moving, clear your head. Burn off the anxiety like it's something you can sweat out. You told yourself you'd take a different route, even said it out loud, not the bridge, like saying it might keep your feet honest. Yet here you are, on the same sidewalk, at the same hour, on the same stretch of concrete, suspended above the frozen water. You stop halfway across the bridge, trying to appear like someone just strolling, just passing through. But the wind picks up, slicing through your sleeves, and you realize this is exactly where you were standing when she waved. You zip your coat and tell yourself you're imagining things, that it wasn't real, that it couldn't have been. That's when you see her. Same coat, same scarf. But she's no longer at the far end of the bridge. She's closer this time, walking toward you. Your legs stiffen as you try to step back, but your foot slips slightly on the uneven concrete. Just one step, just enough to subtly signal you're not here for this. She stops too, mirroring your movement. You can't clearly see her face, only the outline, still, expressionless, eyes locked on you with unblinking focus. There's no emotion there, just attention, deliberate, patient, like something studying its next move. You feel the hairs on your arms lift, not from the cold, but from something deeper, like prey sensing a predator. She stands motionless, her eyes fixed on you. One hand lifts in a slow and deliberate gesture, not a wave, not a threat, but a beckoning, as if inviting you closer, though not with kindness. You turn to leave, but she's closer, only 10 feet away, without footsteps or a sound. You spin around to find nothing, she's gone. You don't remember running, only the steady pound of your footsteps and the burn in your chest. The silence behind you presses close, chasing the rhythm of your retreat as if it wants to reclaim the sound. By the time you arrive home, your coat remains zipped, and your breath fogs the inside of your collar. You slam the door shut behind you, locking it, chaining it, and double-checking the mechanisms. The lights blaze with an unnatural brightness, harsh against the dimming evening, mirroring the stark, unwelcome clarity blooming in your thoughts. The blood rushing in your ears amplifies the silence to an unbearable level, as if it's trying to drown something out. Time slips sideways in the kitchen. 10 minutes, maybe more. You're not sure anymore, only that your hand is still braced against the cold faux stone counter, steadying you. Crumbs from a breakfast you never finished lie near the edge, just this morning, though it feels like days ago. The laptop sits half open beside a chipped coffee mug, the coffee inside gone cold long before noon, yet somehow already forgotten. Slowly, carefully, you lower yourself into the chair, as if your body might dissolve if you move too quickly. You aren't thinking, just existing, waiting for the shaking to subside. You open your laptop, not searching for answers or intending to report anything. You're not even sure of your motivation, honestly. It's just reflex, muscle memory. Perhaps a part of you considered looking up bridge footage, or maybe another part simply didn't want to be alone with your thoughts. Your inbox loads, revealing no new mail. Then, a single message suddenly blinks into view. The message has no subject and no sender. You click it open to find a still frame from the bridge camera. You are waving again, but this time there's a shape across from you, not fully formed, not quite solid, yet the red scarf is undeniably visible, clear as blood. Attached to the image is a message, just one line: do not wave back. You don't go out the next night. You barely move at all. Every lamp stays on, and the curtains stay closed. The laptop remains open on the table, its glow dimmed, your inbox still pulled up. You're not sure what you're waiting for. Maybe closure, maybe confirmation. Most of it is noise, news alerts, system updates, spam, and one message from a coworker, short, casual, trying not to pry. We're grabbing drinks, come if you want. You good? You stare at it for too long. Not because you're debating, but because you can't remember the last time you wanted to be anywhere but alone. You don't answer. The sender is listed as City of Minneapolis Police. Your pulse stutters as you sit up straighter, and for a second you feel something like relief. You'd asked questions, so maybe they're finally answering them. You click. Maybe the police found something. Maybe they saw her too. Maybe this is proof you're not losing your mind. The body of the message contains only one thing: incident report, camera footage available for review, followed by a link. You click again. A black and white video player loads in your browser, displaying a familiar angle, an overhead view of the bridge. It's the same time-stamped feed as before, but this time the footage is labeled live. You're not in the frame, but she is. She stands near the railing, wearing the same coat and scarf. With her back to the camera, she turns slowly until she's facing the lens, facing you. You push back from the table, suddenly aware of the loudness of your breathing. Reaching for your phone, you dial the non-emergency police line. The officer on the other end puts you on hold, and when she returns, her voice is cautious. She states there's no record of any message being sent, nothing from their department, and no outreach from the city. You end the call with a few words, your hand remaining on the phone long after the line goes silent. You stare at the laptop. The video feed is gone now, replaced by a 404 error where her face used to be. The quiet feels thicker and more intentional than before. Something shifts in your chest, not panic, not calm, but something in between. You move through the apartment without consciously choosing to, surrounded by silence and devoid of thought, driven only by motion. At some point, your hand rests on the front doorknob. You listen for footsteps but hear none, yet you open the door anyway. By the time you realize where you are, the cold has already numbed your fingers. The streetlights hum softly overhead as the city sleeps. The Washington Avenue Bridge stands ahead, empty except for her. She's in the exact spot where she jumped, or should have. Her head tilts slightly to the side, as if hearing something only she can perceive. She doesn't move, but you do, walking forward slowly, your shoes scraping against the concrete, your breath misting in the dark. The distance between you closes until you stop 10 feet away, close enough to see her shoulders rise and fall in slow, steady breaths. She turns and lifts her hands to her hood, the fabric drawing back to reveal her face. It isn't deformed, bloodied, or monstrous. It's soft, childlike, blank, like something that never finished forming. There are eyes, but they don't blink. A mouth, but it doesn't open, it doesn't have to. Your knees lock, jaw clenched as your body reacts before your mind can catch up. She extends her arm in a gesture softer than a wave, an invitation, a comfort, fingers outstretched as if to steady you. For a moment, you almost believe her. Your hand twitches, then rises to meet hers, hesitant but compelled. As your fingertips brush together, the world shifts. Not violently, not loudly. It simply ceases to hold. The bridge doesn't fall away. You do. The ground slips, the sky turns, there's no weight, no wind, no scream, only the strange, quiet sensation of motion without direction. A drifting, unmoored, and untethered. You try to blink, but your eyes remain fixed. You try to scream, but no breath follows. Thought stutters, then unravels, one final thread at a time, as the red scarf fades from your vision and the dark rises to meet you. The footage will be reviewed multiple times, first by the responding officer, then by his supervisor, then again by a city tech. Eventually, it reaches a department psychologist, finally someone from internal affairs. Each of them logs the same timestamp, 3:33 a.m. Each of them confirms that the subject appears calm, still, facing the river. Each of them notes a moment just before the feed distorts, when your arm jerks forward, reaching for something no one else can see. No one agrees on what happens next. No one can explain it. But the recording ends the same way every time. You vanish from the frame. Ah, my raven. Perhaps the scariest part isn't what waits on the bridge, but how many walk there hoping not to be seen. Some echoes are made of grief, others are made of hunger. And sometimes, just sometimes, when the wrong eyes meet, a story begins again. This is Lady Lenore, guiding you back to the light, if only for a moment. Sleep well, my children of the dark, and if you wish to return to the shadows again, strike the like button, subscribe, and let the bell guide your way back. And before you go, remember this. Though this story is imagined, the pain it mirrors is very real. If you or someone you know is struggling, please don't wait. Visit 988lifeline.org, call or text 988 to speak with someone who will listen. You are not alone in the dark.